So we have booked in, we've got our map, we're all sorted, but this time we're staying in the executive campsites down the bottom here by the swimming pool.
Look, levitating.
So our 12-volt air fryer plug is here. Now it's on. And there it's working. Right, they're going to sit there. And that goes in and we'll run that for about 45 minutes. So a lot of guys will say this is not camping and it's not this, it's not that. But I tell you what, this is an air fryer. Frozen chicken strips in the middle of nowhere. No electricity other than what I can create myself. Happiness is. Alright, so we've departed on a little afternoon drive. Like I said earlier, the intention is to drive for a little while, stop, have a couple of sundowners, and then kind of have a sunset evening night sort of drive back to camp. Hopefully we're going to find some cool stuff to show you guys. You saw me deflating the tires earlier, so what we do with that is simply allows us to elongate our tread contact surface with the ground, and that in turn provides more traction and helps not get stuck, hopefully. I am running terra firma tires. They are not bad. There are much better options available. They have a 2-ply sidewall, which means they are rather soft, so I don't have to deflate as much as the guys running the higher end tires do. I can get by quite comfortably on 1.8 to 2 bar on this terrain, and if it does change, I'll then deflate further. It's quick and painless, really. So we found a sweet little sunset spot here by the river. How's that? Magic. Kids are having such a joy.
In your bar?
This is the laugh, guys.
Lemon and us.
Lemon would be magic.
So we've got finger snacks on the go. Almost done now, not long. We're gonna open up the fridge and grab something nice and cold shortly. Watch that sun disappear below the horizon. We've got about an hour to go. The sunset had other plans for us. As you can see, it is setting, but unfortunately the clouds have not really played the game for us. So back down the airstrip we go. So we're in that beautiful dusky twilight hour now. And we are just loving life, guys. This is so beautiful. Right guys, okay, so this is a long crossing here. Let's give it some berries, guys.
Woo! Let's do this.
Let's have a look.
Okay, both muscles. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Woo!
Was that fun, baby? But wait, there's more!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby! Yeah! Woo! Let's go! Woo! Woo! Yeah! As this more, a little bit more. Or a lot more, I could say. This is the fish not for my tire.
Oh shit. Okay, hang on. I think it got a bit too deep there, but that was deep. Let's just reevaluate. Okay, so we had no choice but to stop. That section was too deep. We weren't sure where the road was, where the road joined up again. We couldn't see. It's getting dark. The risks were not worth the reward. So we reversed and we drove that same section that you already saw, backtracked to a road here, and we found our way back to the river road where we're going to link up now right here by this turn to head back into the bush and away from the river, and hopefully away from some of the water, because that was a lot of water crossing.
And a lot of snow.
Driving in the water like that, the water is always a bit of a risk, because you never quite know what's going to get wet, how much is going to splash, and what you're going to deal with, which is why a lot of my preventative maintenance work is applying stuff like spark spray, Q30 film, and copper slip to a lot of the terminals, plugs and things that are in the water line, which just helps prevent failures. You know, really the bad end of things, which you can't do a hell of a lot for besides just be aware of it, is your wading depth. If you end up exceeding your wading depth, you're going to end up with trouble, and that's what happens when guys start to get water in their intakes and things like that. A snorkel is great. It's something a lot of people discuss and say is fantastic and a huge aid for crossing deep sections of water. I do agree, it is nice to raise your air intake, but having a snorkel does very little for raising your wading depth. You still need to be mindful of where your electronic components are. You can have all the air in your engine you want, but if your ECU and your body control module and stuff like that gets wet, the snorkel doesn't help with that. So approach river crossings, large sections of water like we have, with caution, and just be mindful of the repercussions of your actions. And don't really attempt it alone. We're three vehicles with big winches, all with max tracks, all experienced off-roaders. So our chances of having significant trouble were very slim, which is why we gave it a bash. When we realized it was becoming questionable, we backtracked and we head back to camp so we can enjoy our evening without damaging our cars. I figured this is a great opportunity to show you guys a little bit of how we do things. Yeah, I mean, we run the gazebo setup, and we run a few other creature comforts that I would say a lot of people would say is not your traditional off-grid camping stuff, but we mix and match to suit our, our wants and our needs. And I do a lot of prep, a lot of stuff that makes our life easy, like now when we've got back late because we went out and had a fun drive. So I'm going to show you. So I'm currently cooking with our induction cooker. So this is an 800 watt Van Go unit. What we do is I pre-make stuff and I freeze it at home. It's great for everyday living, normal life, but also when we come camping, this goes into the deep freeze, pull it out, let it defrost, and you've got food within 10 minutes. Let me give you some light here just so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so there we go. So this 800 watt, I haven't ever really showed this on YouTube before, but that is my induction cooker. It's very small. It works beautifully, and it is powered by my 2500 watt inverter off of my 306 amp hour lithium battery, and that is my setup. I don't bother with gas because if it's windy, it doesn't work. I don't have to worry about a windshield. I can cook in the wind with this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't rip the power out of my setup, and even if it did, I don't care because I can accommodate the power draw. At the moment it's on 2 out of 5, which is a medium low, and it is a fluctuational draw, so it draws nothing and then it draws something, and it's really not that much. So if we go up to 4, you'll see it'll start to draw a bit. And I mean 50 amps, 49 amps, that's absolute, it's nothing. It means nothing to me. My battery is sitting on 99%. Look at the voltage. This is why I use Adventure X batteries. They are the best batteries on the market, and it's fact. Here it starts to get nice and hot now, and within the next 5 to 10 minutes my kid will have his spaghetti bolognese done and dusted. That's camp life. There's the Adventure X man himself, the legend Rob, and that's where I get all my gear from. So another cool thing that I love, I can control my fridge from my phone. I mean, there's really no great flipping advancement. This has happened for ages. But the single most useful feature about being able to control it on the phone is the fact that I can lock. So this irritates everybody. You pull the fridge out, you bump something, and it activates. With this, I lock it, and now it doesn't matter what I do, it doesn't make a difference, and I can control everything. So I can see my large compartment side, my small compartment side. I can change the modes, I can set my cut off voltages. It's convenient, and I can put the fridge on and off. That little bit of time that I was busy with the air fryer, it used virtually nothing. But keep in mind, I got all the lights on. I got the rooftop tent lights on, the fan in the rooftop tent on as well. Let me just reset that quick. Not yet. So right, let's have a look here. Okay, it's pulling 11 amps because the fridge is just switched on, and I'm only on 96%, and that's a meal from frozen, cooked, ready to go. There's the kids' chow. So yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled with how this works. Really, it might not be camping for everybody, but shit, it's the way I like to camp. And that, folks, is the very chilled end of our first evening at camp. Kiddo's gonna hop into bed now and have a sleep, wake up tomorrow morning, and the fun continues. Here's my little penthouse there. We're gonna close up and start packing up, and then just sit and chill for a little while. What will happen is I'll catch you in the morning, unless we get a leopard that cruises through camp. You will only see us again when the sun's up. Lekker.